Hey everyone, I'm Amy. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having an amazing week so far. So, it's been a minute since I've recorded a video, so I thought, right, okay, come on Amy, let's record another yoga flow. So, this is a little bit longer. It's going to be a bit of an all-round flow. We're going to have our usual Sun Salutations in there. We're going to have some really awesome stretching for whole body. And we're going to have a little bit of a Shavasana at the end. So it should be a good all-round yoga flow. Hope that you enjoy it. Let me know in the comments below how you get on, and I will see you on the mat. So we're going to begin by sitting on our mats, cross-legged position, however is comfortable for you. And we're just going to give ourselves a little bit of a moment, closing down our eyes, and we're just going to ground ourselves onto the mat, ready for today's practice. So however that feels for you, maybe focus on your breathing. Try and kind of just focus on being here in the moment, taking a little bit of time for yourself, just to stretch out your body and to just sort of centre yourself if today's been a little bit busy. Sometimes we run out of time for things, so if we can grab just half an hour just for ourselves to come back to our practice, all is good. Maybe begin to elongate your inhales, so inhale for a count of 4. And take an exhale for a count of 4. Again, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Now throughout today's practice, try and keep a bit of a focus on your breathing. Whenever your mind starts to wander a little bit, just come back to your breath. When you're ready, just going to blink open our eyes. We're just going to do a few little shoulder rolls and neck rolls and side stretches. So on the inhale, we're going to take the shoulders up towards the ears, exhale them back down towards the spine. Take an inhale as you raise the shoulders up, exhale, lower them down. One more time. Inhale, exhale to release. Shoulders back to center. We move opposite direction. So inhale, shoulders up, exhale down towards the chest. Inhale, shoulders up, exhale down. Inhale, shoulders up, and exhale down. So just going to drop our right ear towards our right shoulder. Just gently hold just the side of the head, ever so gently, so you can really feel that stretch through the side neck. We're just we're not putting any pressure through the hand here. So you just want to drop your ear towards your shoulder. Take an inhale to release, and as you exhale, we're just going to move on to the opposite side. Should feel like quite a nice stretch, relieving any tension through the neck. Inhale, come back up to center, and as you take another inhale, we're just going to lift our left arm up and over, stretching through the side body. Maybe bring the gaze up towards the left palm. Exhale to release. We're going to flow, so inhale the right arm up and over. Exhale, release. Inhale, left arm up and over. Exhale, release. One more time, inhale, right arm up. And exhaling to release. Just gently sort of roll the shoulders out a little bit, roll the neck out. And we're going to come through into our favourites, which is our cat-cows, just to warm up through our spine. So have your wrists in line with your shoulders, fingertips spread nice and wide, tops of the feet on the mat, and your knees in line with your hips. As you take an inhale, drop the belly down, bring the gaze up. And as you exhale, letting everything go, rounding through the spine, rounding through the shoulders. Again, inhaling, dropping the belly down, bring the gaze up. And exhale, let everything go. We'll do that one more time. Drop the belly down, bring the gaze up. And exhale, letting everything go. On the inhale, bring the spine back to neutral. We're going to tuck the toes under. We're going to push back into our first downward facing dog. And here we're just going to take it easy, pedal out those legs. Have your feet in line with the hips. And again, your wrists in line with your shoulders. Shoulder distance apart. Fingertips nice and wide. Maybe put a gentle bend through the knees. Maybe take an inhale to come up on the toes. Exhale to release the heels down. Again, inhale, bring the heels up, coming up onto the toes. And exhale, bring the heels down towards the mat. Being ever so mindful of how you're feeling. Hamstrings might be a little bit tight, I know mine are. Especially on the right hand side. Often you're a little bit uneven. The body's not always the same from left to right. So just be aware of how your body feels. And then from here, we're just going to really gently walk ourselves towards the palms of the hands. Take a big inhale as we come up into a half lift. Exhale to release into a forward fold. And then inhale, rising ourselves all the way up to the top of the mat. And exhale, hands to prayer at heart center. Okay, so bring the hands to the sides, give the hands and the shoulders a little bit of a shake out. And we're going to begin with a few rounds of sun salutations. So on the inhale, raise the arms up. Gaze comes towards the thumbs. Exhale as we forward fold. Inhale into a half lift, flat back. Bring the gaze forwards. And as you exhale, step yourself back, lower down through chaturanga. Really tuck the elbows in towards the ribs. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhaling to downward facing dog. And again in downward facing dog, just pedal out the legs. Maybe do one at a time. Putting that bend through the knees. And bring your gaze, if it feels okay, bring the gaze towards the tops of the thighs or towards the navel. And on your next inhale, lifting the heels, bring the gaze towards the thumbs as you put a bend through the knees. And then just gently walk yourself back to the top of the mat, coming back into our half lift, bringing the gaze forwards. Exhale to forward fold. And inhale to rise all the way back up to standing, hands to prayer at heart center. We're going to repeat that one more time. So, inhale, arms up to look towards your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, stepping ourselves back, lower down through chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog, shoulders back. Exhaling back into downward facing dog. And sun salutations are so great for just warming up the whole body. So we're really working through the front side of the body, the back side of the body. And they're just a really great way to build some heat and to help yourselves to just warm up before your practice. Quite often, if I don't have a lot of time, I'll sort of get on the mat and do maybe 3 of each. So your sun salutation A's, which we're doing at the moment, and then we're just going to run through a couple of sun salutation B's. And it's just good to kind of warm up the body, as I say, and just give yourselves a really nice stretch. Perfect if you're limited on time. So take an inhale to lift the heels, exhale, bend through the knees, jump, walk or step back to the top of the mat. Coming into a half lift, bringing the gaze up, exhaling to forward fold, and inhale, rise all the way back up to standing, hands to prayer at heart center. So moving on, we're going to do some sun salutation B's. So take an inhale, raise the arms up, look towards your thumbs, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, gaze comes forwards. Exhale to step back, lower down through chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Now from here, we're going to turn the left toes out. Inhale as you bring the right foot forward. Rise up into warrior one. Bring the arms up. Gaze comes towards your thumbs. And as you exhale, bring both palms to the floor. Step yourselves back. Lower down chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale back into downward facing dog. Repeating on the left hand side. So turn your right toes out. Bring the left foot forward. Take a big inhale as you raise the arms up above the head. Gaze towards your thumbs. And as you exhale, bring both palms to the mat. Stepping back, lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Take 3 nice long inhales and exhales here. Pedaling out the legs, slowing everything down. We've got a little bit of a pace for today's practice, but it's all good. Gives you a little bit of a workout as well. Take one more breath here. And on your next inhale, lifting the heels, bend through the knees, gaze towards your thumbs, walk, step or jump to the top of the mat. Half lift, bring the gaze forwards. Exhale to forward fold. And inhale, rising all the way back up to standing. Exhale, hands to prayer at heart center. One more of those ones, folks. So as you inhale, put a bend through the knees, rise up to chair pose. Bring the gaze up towards your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, bring the gaze up. Exhale, step yourselves back, lower down through chaturanga. Upward facing dog on the inhale. And downward facing dog on the exhale. And again, turn the left toes out. Inhale the right leg forward, rise up to warrior one. Exhale, both palms to the mat, stepping back, lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the left foot through, rise up, warrior one, gaze comes up. And exhale, both palms to the mat, step back, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Take those 3 nice long inhales and exhales. We've made it through our sun salutations, folks. It's all good. Body should feel nice and warmed up. We should have built some heat, built some energy. And those all important good vibes as well. So on your next inhale, lift the heels, exhale to bend the knees, walk, step or jump to the top of the mat, half lift, gaze comes forwards. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale through chair pose, rise all the way back up to standing. Hands to prayer at heart center. Moving on, folks, we're going to move through some sun Cs. So inhale, come to a chair pose. Have your feet so they're hips width distance apart. Weight into your heels. If you can, lift up all 10 toes. Exhale as you pop them down onto the mat. Bring the gaze up towards your thumbs. Take a couple of breaths here. Lower down. So as you exhale, bring the chest towards the tops of the knees. Bring the gaze towards the toes. Stretch the arms out in front of you. Take a couple of breaths here. And as you exhale, bring both palms to the mat. Heel toe the feet out to the sides, coming down into our yogi squat. So just come to wherever feels comfortable. If you've got a block to hand, you can always pop a little block underneath your bum. And then have your elbows pushing towards the insides of your thighs. Hands to prayer at heart center. Such an amazing stretch for the inside of the thighs. Stretching out the lower back. Gaze forwards. A couple of breaths here. take an inhale. Bring the palms to the mat. Just going to move the block to one side. Step yourselves back again. Lower down through chaturanga. Tuck the elbows in. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhaling to downward facing dog. And here in downward facing dog, we're just going to take an inhale with the right leg, coming up into three-legged dog. And as you exhale, open the hip to the right hand side. Be mindful of how the knee feels here. And just let your right foot fall gently over towards the left. Amazing for creating space through the hips. And as you exhale, release the right leg down. Take an inhale, three-legged dog with the left foot. Drop the foot back towards the right hand side. Feeling that really nice stretch all through the left hand side of the body. And as you exhale, bringing the left foot down, releasing. Take one big inhale here. Hold. Exhale. Releasing the breath through the mouth. Release any tension. On your next inhale, we're going to come back into warrior one. So bring your right leg forwards, turn the left toes out. Rise up through warrior one. Gaze comes towards your thumbs. Have that nice 90-degree bend through the front right knee. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Be nice and strong through both the legs. And on your next inhale, moving on to warrior two. So you want to have your heels in one line. Still keeping that bend through the front right leg. Bring your arms down to a T. This time have your hips so they're facing the long edge of your yoga mat. And bring the gaze over the front middle finger. Again, nice and strong through both legs. Focusing on your breath. And we're just here, just for a couple of moments. We're going to flip into reverse warrior. So turn your right palm up. And then on the inhale, let the right arm come up and over. Bring the left arm down the left leg. Still keeping that bend through your right knee. Gaze towards your right palm. And as you exhale, come back into that warrior two. From here, take an inhale. Reduce your stance slightly. And on the exhale, reach forwards and down as we come into Trikonasana, our triangle pose. So here, bring your gaze up towards your left palm. Again, option to use a block, so you can always, if you've got a block to hand, put that underneath your right palm. Just bringing the ground a little bit closer. And I'll tell you what, we're just going to do a little bit of core work here. So, still in our triangle pose, just let go of that block. Bring your right arm up and reach the left arm over. So really engage your core here. We're going to stay for 1, for 2, and 3. Releasing back into triangle pose. Now, coming into our extended side angles. Just going to move the block out the way. So, put a bend through your right knee. Have your right palm on the inside of the right foot. Take an inhale as you raise the left arm up. Option here, if you want to bring the left arm up and over, feel free. Feel a lot more of a side stretch here, which is always quite nice. And we're just going to take a couple of breaths. On your exhale, drop both palms to the mat. Drop your knee down to the mat. And here, we're just going to let our right knee fall gently out to the side so that you're on the outer edge of your right foot. Again, opening up through the hips. Stretching through the thighs. Option here, if you'd like to come a little bit deeper, you can always bring your elbows down to the mat as well. A super amazing stretch for the legs. can really feel this through the glutes. It's good for releasing any tension that we might have built up. On your next inhale, come back up onto the palms of the hands, bring the foot back onto the mat, tuck the left toes under. We're going to rise up into crescent lunge. As you exhale, bring the hands to prayer at heart center, and we're going to twist round to the right hand side. Maybe bring the elbow up, bring the gaze towards the elbow. Don't worry if you're a little bit wobbly. Take a couple of breaths. Option if you want to open up through the arms here, depending on how you're feeling. And as you exhale, releasing, bring both palms to the mat, step your right foot back, lower down through chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog and exhaling to downward facing dog. Take one big inhale and exhale through the mouth. Again, we're going to open up through the hips, so inhale the right leg up, exhale to drop it back towards the left side. Option here, you can always drop over into wild thing, so if you want to bring your right foot all the way over, lifting the right palm up and over the head, gaze comes up towards the right palm. A couple of breaths here. And as you exhale, bring yourselves back into downward facing dog. We're just going to repeat that on the left hand side. So inhale the left foot up, drop it back towards the right hand side. If you want to do wild thing on this side, let the foot fall all the way to the floor. Reach the left palm up and over. Super great for stretching through all the front side of the body. And as you exhale, bringing ourselves back into downward facing dog. Just take a couple of moments just to ground yourselves, focus on your breath. I've got a jumper that's getting in my way in today's practice. Okay, so we're going to repeat on the left hand side. So inhale the left foot through, rising up into warrior one. Strong through the legs, gaze comes up towards the palm. Having that bend through the front right knee. Take a few breaths here. And as you exhale, opening up into warrior two. So again, have your heels so that they're in one line. Still keeping that bend through the front left knee. Gaze comes over your front middle finger. And just be nice and strong, having both the legs nice and active. And on the inhale, flip the left palm up. As you take an inhale, bring it all the way overhead. Drop the right palm down on the left leg, on the right leg, sorry. Reverse warrior. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, coming back into that warrior two. And then we're going to reduce our stance. As we exhale, extending forwards and down, Trikonasana. Triangle pose on the left hand side. Again, option to grab hold of the block just to pop under the left palm. Gaze comes up towards your right palm. And just be mindful that you're still using your core, you're lifting up through your triangle pose. So whether you're using a block or whether you're holding onto your leg or the mat, just be mindful that you're not dumping too much of your weight through that left palm. You still want to keep the core nice and active. And again, we're just going to do that little bit of core work on this side. So take an inhale, raise the left palm up, bring the right arm up and over. We stay here for 3, for 2, and 1. Coming back into triangle pose. And then moving into our extended side angle. So you want to put that bend again through your left knee. Bring the left palm down on the inside of the left foot and bring your right palm up towards the ceiling. Gaze towards the right palm. Option to bring the arm all the way up and over to give ourselves a little bit more of a stretch all the way through our right hand side. We're just here for a couple of breaths. Try and keep your knee in line with your ankle. And as you exhale, bring both palms to the mat. We're going to drop the right knee down, top of the right foot flat to the mat. And again, just let that left knee fall out to the side gently. Option to come a little bit deeper. You can always bring the elbows to the mat. But just be aware of how you're feeling. We'll stay here for another couple of breaths. Pardon me. And on your next inhale, bring the palms to the mat. We're going to rise up through crescent lunge. So tuck the back toes under, lift yourselves up, bring the arms up above the head. Gaze comes up towards the palms. And as you exhale, hands to prayer at heart center, twisting yourself around to the left hand side. Hook the right elbow over the left knee. Gaze comes up towards the left elbow. Don't worry again if you're a little bit wobbly. I'm a little bit wobbly today. It's all good. Option to extend the arms out. And again, bring that gaze towards your left palm. And then exhaling, both palms to the mat. Step back, lower down chaturanga, tuck the elbows in. Inhale to upward facing dog. And as we exhale, coming through to downward facing dog. So the body should feel nice and warm. We're going to move on now, just doing some stretches, seated stretches on our mat. So as you take an inhale, lift the heels, exhale to bend through the knees. If it feels okay, jump and bring yourselves to a seated position on your mat. We're going to move through some forward folds so we get some nice stretch coming through the legs. So make sure you're nice and comfortable, sitting equally on both sit bones. Give yourselves a bit of a shuffle around. As you take an inhale, bring the arms up above the head, and as you exhale, just coming into a forward fold, leading with your chest, coming to wherever feels comfortable, and just staying here for a few rounds of breath. So just really trying to slow everything down, let your body relax into the posture. On the next inhale, maybe change the grip. So if you had the sides of the feet or even the sides of the legs, maybe just switch up a little bit. So you can always grab the toes with the thumb and forefinger. And again, just coming back into that forward fold. And the inhale, come all the way back up to seated. Bring your left foot so that it's on the right foot, sorry, so it's on the inside of your left thigh. Still make sure that your hips are square to the front edge of your mat. We're going to take that forward fold again. So take a big inhale, roll through the shoulders back, and as you exhale, bring yourselves forwards and down towards the left knee. Again, coming to wherever feels comfortable. And really feeling a nice stretch all the way through the back of the left leg. Super good for the hamstrings, but of course just be careful and just be aware of just coming to wherever's enough for you today in your practice. Inhale, come back up. Bring the sole of the right foot onto the mat, and here you want to kind of have maybe like an open palms distance between the inside of the foot and the inside of the thigh. And we're just going to wrap our right arm around our right knee. So bring your left palm down towards your left sit bone. Take an inhale as you raise the right arm up. Exhale to forward fold. And then you want to kind of bring your right arm around your back. Maybe grab hold of a t-shirt or a jumper. You can always interlace the hands if that's okay. And again, just giving ourselves a little bit of a forward fold here. This is one of my favourite yoga poses. Don't worry if the right sit bone is raising slightly. Just take a couple of breaths. And then on the next inhale, just release. We're going to come into a twist. So maybe bring your right foot a little bit further out towards the left shin. Bring the right palm behind the left and behind the right sit bone. I don't know what's happening with my left and rights today. Take an inhale, raise the left arm up, and exhale to hook it over the right knee. Bring the gaze round towards the right shoulder. Trying to keep nice and long, lifting up through the spine. Take a couple of breaths here. As you exhale, just release the legs. We're going to rise up into our Shavasana, our boat pose. Bring the gaze towards the toes. Just going to stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the legs gently down to the mat. We're going to repeat on the left hand side. So we've already done our forward fold. But now we're going to move on to bringing our left foot on the inside of the right thigh. Take an inhale, broaden through the chest, and as you exhale, coming into a forward fold. Coming to wherever feels comfortable and really feeling a little bit of a stretch all the way through the hamstrings, all the way through the glutes. And again, remember to focus on your breath. Always bring yourself back to your breathing. Take an inhale to release. Bring your left sole of your foot on the inside of the right thigh, again with our hands width distance. And we're going to put our right palm by our right sit bone. As you take an inhale, raise the left arm up. Exhale to come into a forward fold. Twist the arm round towards your left hand side. And then wrap the arm around the back, maybe grabbing hold of a jumper or a t-shirt. If it feels okay, you can interlace the palms of the hands. And just coming into a little bit of a forward fold again. So we're really working on stretching through the backs of the legs and trying to release any tension through the lower back as well. Again, focus on your breath. Inhale, we're going to release, coming into a twist on the right hand side. So again, moving your foot slightly maybe towards the right shin so that the gap's a little bit more. Bring your left palm down by your left sit bone. Inhale the right arm up. As you exhale, hook it over the left knee. And just bring that twist and the gaze round to the left shoulder. Again, nice and strong through the legs, nice and tall through the spine. Maybe flex the foot. And as you exhale, to release, coming up into Anavasana one more time for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the feet to the mat. Bring the soles of the feet together. And then we're just going to shuffle ourselves a little bit closer towards our feet. Again, coming to wherever feels comfortable for you today. And then grab hold of either the big toes with the thumb and forefinger. Or you can hold each side of the foot as well. So either is good. Take an inhale as you lengthen through the spine. And just come into it again, a little bit of a forward fold again. Maybe use the elbows just ever so gently. Keep them tucked in towards the side body, but maybe just press a little bit onto the insides of the thighs. A nice stretch through the legs. A couple more breaths. And then on the inhale, bring both knees up. We're going to come down to laying onto our back. So shuffle yourself slightly forward so that you're still on your mat when you lay down. And then let your left leg fall down to the mat. Bring your right knee in towards the chest. And as you exhale, drop it over towards the left-hand side. Super great stretch for stretching out the legs and through the spine. Bring your right palm up in line with your shoulder and bring the gaze towards the right palm. Option to use your left palm just to rest it on top of the right knee. You just intensify that stretch a little bit more. All the way through the right hand side, all the way through the glutes. Take an inhale. As you come back up to centre, we're going to switch the legs over. So bring the left knee in towards the chest. Stretch the right leg down. And as you exhale, drop the right knee over. Left knee over towards the right side. Gaze comes up towards the left palm. And again, just focus on your breath. Take an inhale. As you come back up to centre, bring both knees in towards the chest. Squeeze the knees in towards the chest. Rock and roll around from side to side. Just to massage the spine a little bit. And then we're going to bring ourselves up to seated. So hold onto the backs of the thighs with the palms of the hands and rock yourselves gently back and forwards. Keep going until you can get a little bit of momentum to bring yourself back up to seated. And we're going to do some wide leg forward folds. I'm just going to face you now. Both legs come out to either side. So we're just going to do a couple of these stretches here. So first of all, we're going to walk ourselves front ways, in between the legs, just coming to where it's comfortable, maybe flexing through the feet, just to really give a little bit of extra stretch through the legs. Focus on your breathing. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Take an inhale to come all the way up. Now we're going to reach over towards the right hand side. So coming to wherever feels comfortable. And just stretching all the way through the side. Again, this is so great for stretching the hamstrings. You can inhale to release. Repeat on the left hand side. Inhaling to release. Come back into that cross-legged position, or however you were in the beginning, that was nice and comfortable. And again, we're just going to do one more last twist. So bring your left palm on top of the right knee. Right palm comes behind you. Just twist so that you're gazing over your right shoulder. Take an exhale, release, switching over onto the opposite side. Take a couple of nice long breaths here. And exhaling. As you release, we're just going to do a little bit of a stretch all the way through the neck. So take an inhale, and as you exhale, drop the chin to the chest. Take an inhale to come back up to centre. Dropping chin to chest on the exhale. Inhale to centre. One more time. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale to centre. And just a few last neck rolls. So take a big inhale. And as you exhale, drop the right knee down towards the right shoulder. We're just going to move in a clockwise direction. Just to release any tension through the neck. Do a couple of times on each side. As you exhale, come back up to centre. Take a pause just for a moment. And then on your next exhale, drop the left knee towards the left shoulder. We move anti-clockwise. Again, just a few rounds. And as you exhale, coming back to centre. And now we get the best bit. We're going to move into our Shavasana. So just shuffle yourselves round so that you can find a nice comfortable position, laying down on your backs on your mat. So this is where all the goodness takes effect from today's practice. So let your feet fall out to the sides, palms facing up, let the arms come out to the sides. And you just want to, no matter how much time, whether you've got 30 seconds, a minute, 5 minutes, however long you've got, always try and make time just to lay in Shavasana, like I say, so your body can really reap the rewards of your yoga practice today. And again, it just gives us opportunity to find a little bit of stillness in our day. So when you're ready, just bring a little bit of movement into the fingertips, back into the toes. On your next inhale, raise the arms up above the head, give yourselves a nice little stretch all the way through the front side of the body. And as you exhale, bring the knees in towards the chest, give yourselves a little bit of a squeeze. And then just gently bring yourselves back up to seated. We'll come back into our cross-leg position. Let's bring the hands to prayer at heart centre. We're just going to bow our heads and just say thank you for today's practice. So there we are, folks. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today for your yoga practice. I really hope that you've enjoyed it. As always, let me know how you get on in the comments. If you've got any suggestions for future yoga flows, then of course, hit me up, let me know. It's always good to have some feedback. So have an amazing rest of your day, whenever you're reaching out and doing your yoga, and I will see you next time. Thanks, folks.